Boy, Senior, what are you doing? Before we get into this video, don't forget, hit that thumbs up if you like the video, hit that thumbs down if you dislike the video, and go ahead and sub to the channel because you know that's what helps me out the most. And don't forget, after you sub, hit that notification bell. That way, you can be the first to know when I drop new content like this. All right, there's a lot to unpack in this right here. Mayweather Sr. said he's a piece of trash, talking about Deontay Wilder. I can't believe he actually said that. Like, I want to get into All right. He said his first comment in here, it looks like, is, well, I bet on Wilder, but he showed me a lot of shit, or S with a bunch of stars, that he didn't know. He said on the Mayweather YouTube channel, I should have went to the Mayweather YouTube channel and looked at it. He said, okay, let's do like this. A lot of people have been asking me to train him, but I don't know if he can be fixed. Damn, that's saying a lot right there. There's a lot of things he's got to do that I know that he doesn't know. Go to another quote. We're going to hit all the quotes and then we'll talk about this. Neither one of them really looked like nothing where somebody can come out and really tear up someone. Wilder looked bad. I don't know about those fights. Them guys, they just ain't got it. Then he says, I liked Wilder at first, but now I ain't got nothing to say about him except he's a piece of trash. It says he trashed Fury as well. Okay. So, Floyd Mayweather Sr. said Deontay Wilder is a piece of trash. I 1,000% disagree with his comment. I understand where he's coming from, but I think that's a little too much to say he's trash. All right. Regardless of the competition level, people want to go over his resume. Regardless, he still won in spectacular fashion. He still won a title, no matter who he won it from. He still had 10 defenses, although I don't know how legit that reign to 10 is, only because he did have a draw going to that 10 defenses. But he never lost his title until after the 10th defense. Well, really, it would have been the 11th by then because he had a draw. So that would have been the 12th fight. So he actually had his belt for, 11 fights, lost it on the 12th one? Or do they count the draw as a defense? I don't know. Maybe he had it for 10 and lost it on the 11th. Maybe it was on the 12th. But that's regardless of the fact. The fact is, no matter how you judge his competition, no matter how bad he's lacking technically, he found a way to make it work. All right, this man went 40-plus fights before he got a draw. 40-plus fights before he got a loss. And his draw and loss come to the same man. It's not like two different people beat him. Or one person drawed with him, one person beat him. It's the same man. And the man that beat him and drew with him, we right now don't even know how great that man is. Now, I put Fury under fire because it looks like he's going to vacate not to fight Dillian White. But again, Tyson Fury might be that guy. He might be the best since Klitschko. We'll only know when he gets in there with the likes of White, with the likes of AJ. Really, if I think he beats White and AJ, I don't think anybody else in the heavyweight division can beat him. Because he's already taken out Deontay Wilder, who is the most dangerous single-hand punch in the heavyweight division. If he takes out White and he takes out AJ, I mean, who's left for him to take out that's really a threat? Joseph Parker? I don't see Parker being able to do anything. Andy Ruiz? No. As easily as AJ danced around Andy Ruiz Jr. in that rematch, I could not see any way possible he could touch Fury. Could Oscar Rivas beat him? Highly doubtful because he got out-jabbed by Dillian White, who's nowhere near as mobile, long, and etc. So really, there's only two threats I see right now to Tyson Fury, assuming he wins the third match with Deontay Wilder. And that's AJ and White. So with that being said, we can see all the flaws, right, in Wilder. People have been saying it for a long time. I've said it for a long time. I made videos about him. And I also somewhere along the way made videos where if his power can carry him through, then at some point in time, you have to give credit where credit's due. And his power is just so unbelievable, it makes him win fights, regardless of how technically bad he looks. At the end of the day, if you win a fight, you win a fight. And if nobody can beat you, it doesn't matter if you look good doing it. You're still the best because you're doing it. So I would not go as far to say Deontay Wilder is trash. I would not go that far. Just because he lost to one person, just because he had a draw with that same one person does not mean he's trash. The only way we're going to know if he's truly trash is if he gets in there with Dillian White, if he gets in there with AJ, if he gets in there with Joseph Parker, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because we already know when it comes to the Gerald Washingtons, if we could put Kalnacki on that level, the Helenias, anybody on that lower, the Brazils, on that lower totem pole, he's going to beat them. We've already seen him beat them. What we haven't seen is him beat a lot of top 10 guys. He beat Luis Ortiz twice, knocked him out twice. So you got to give him credit for that. But then he lost to his only other person that was in the top 10, Tyson Fury, and he had a Drew. So he's 50-50 knocking out top 10 fighters. I'll give Luis Ortiz a top 10 slot because I believe, although he's not that tested, I think his amateur background and how he looked through the pros, even though he didn't look that good against Christian Hammer, I think you could argue that Luis Ortiz before Wilder beat him the first time was up there. I mean, we haven't seen him in there with a Povetkin. We haven't seen him in there with a Michael Hunter, but I think Michael Hunter would get knocked out real fast against Deontay Wilder. That's just a cruiserweight that came up, and the only reason why Michael Hunter's in the talks is because he looked good against Povetkin. But again, Povetkin is much older now. I don't think he has that much longer left. We're going to see how he does against Dillian White. But at this point in Povetkin's career, I'm not even 100% sure that he'll beat Wilder. Now, he is dangerous for Wilder because he's very good at counterpunching and he can get close. And that's where you need your inside game. But I would not go as far to say Deontay Wilder is trash. I think right now there's a big question mark over how good Deontay Wilder really is because of how bad he got beat in that second fight. But again, I have to keep coming back to this. We don't know how good Tyson Fury really is. Tyson Fury could be that guy. He could really be that lineal guy. The thing that he keeps talking about, the man that beat the man, well, he's definitely that because he did it, but he might be the man. He might do what Vladimir did to this generation. He might just dominate everybody. He might just make every person he gets in there with look subpar. Now, Otto Wallin had a good showing, but that was more or less the cut, not so much how good he actually fought against Fury. He had his moments, but Fury pretty much dominated that fight. So again, I don't know how bad Deontay Wilder really is because we need to see him in there with more people. I have my suspicions, but until we see him in there with a guy that is technically great, we really can't say if his power is going to trump the technical skill or if the technical skill is going to nullify and trump his power. We don't know because we haven't seen it. And I just realized I'm not on camera. I wanted to be on camera for this talking, but that's okay. We're just going to keep it rolling. But yeah, so I 1,000% disagree with this statement right here only because there is no shame to lose to the best. He got in there with, if you take AJ out the equation, in my opinion, Tyson Fury's ranked number one. I'm going to be brutally honest with this. Do I think Tyson Fury can beat AJ? Yes, I think Tyson Fury can beat AJ. Do I think Tyson Fury can beat Dillian White? No. I believe Dillian White has Tyson Fury's number just because of the way he fights. But AJ, I see Tyson Fury pretty much doing what he did to Klitschko with AJ. Like that's how I see the fight going. I think AJ is going to be too slow. He's too up and down. He doesn't have no bobbing and weaving. He really, I don't see how he gets in on Tyson Fury, who's going to run away from him the whole time and just jab him. Because that's what he's going to do. He's not going to get into a firefight with AJ. I highly doubt to do that because AJ's way too skilled with his hands. And I could see Fury getting caught. And there's a big question mark to Fury's chin too. You know, the thing is, people don't realize you don't really know if somebody has a glass jaw till they get hit, till they get caught. And Tyson Fury's been put down by cruiserweights. The thing that makes Tyson Fury so great is his elusiveness. So we don't really know how good he can take punches, to be honest. AJ might put him on his ass if he catches him. In the third fight, if Wilder catches him just right, he might put him on his ass. He might not. I don't know. But what I can tell you is this. I'm going to play devil's advocate for 1 second. Let's say that everything Deontay Wilder said was true. Let's say that he did not feel the same. Let's say that he was like a zombie going into that ring. Let's say that the costume actually did cause him to be prematurely exhausted in the ring. Because, I mean, just because you can run with a vest on doesn't mean that you can fight the same way after you've done had a vest on for 20, 30 minutes before you get in there to fight. It's difference in training and then going into a fight versus just training with it and looking fine afterwards. So I'm playing devil's advocate for a minute. Let's say all that is true. We know for sure at some point in time Deontay Wilder suffered a bicep injury. I still think, regardless what they say about a cut inside the ear, I still think he might have busted his eardrum, and they're downplaying the severity of how bad he was hurt. Because to me, after that punch, you saw the blood come out the ear, and he just looked like he was on wobbly legs and his equilibrium was gone, which tells me that he probably had a busted eardrum. So my thing again is, and that could be a cover. Maybe his biceps not hurt. Maybe the real reason why he's been in recovery is because they had to repair his eardrum, and they didn't want to let anybody know it was actually the eardrum while he was being repaired in the hospital. So that could be the other thing too that isn't spoke on. But again, if all of that is true, then the third fight will be the telltale of what Deontay Wilder's really like. We know in the first fight, in my opinion, Tyson Fury won 10 out of the 12 rounds. He outboxed him the whole time. But again, he got put on his ass twice. So we know he's susceptible to get knocked down and damn near knocked out by Deontay Wilder. We know it can happen because it has happened. Now, in the second fight, it was pretty much a continuation of the first fight. Tyson Fury outboxed him. The only difference was he pressed the action, and Wilder really didn't have an answer. But again, it could all be to the ear. So again, I'm playing devil's advocate, and let's just say that that was not 100% Wilder. It happens in boxing. Sometimes it's just not your night. Sometimes you just get in there and you can't perform. Maybe he had an off night. See, you could compare this. I'm trying to keep this on a level that a lot of people can understand. Whenever I used to lift weights, right, before I got injured, 10 months ago was the last time maybe 11 months now was the last time I've been in the gym, right? At the time when I was at my strongest, where I could do 5 sets of 5 with 455 on the bench, right? At my strongest, there would still be times I would come into the gym, and let's just use benching as an example, flat bench, right? I would come there and 415 would feel fucking heavy, and I would have to drop down to say like 365. I don't know why. I don't know what would happen, but I would just walk into the gym, and it's not often, but just that once in a blue moon, weight that felt easy just felt really hard on the night. Then the next day I go into the gym and I feel great. Some days going into the gym, I felt like pure shit. But sometimes that might beat you. And the people who've worked out can know this. Sometimes you go in there and you feel like shit. You think it's going to be a bad night, and it's your strongest night. So it is very possible that he could have just had an off night. We don't know till the third fight happens. Now, personally, do I see it going much different? No. I think COVID-19, as long as Wilder has truly been training, that's what I would have done. Fuck social distancing. I would have been in the gym from the time I was healthy, training. I don't give a fuck about Corona, none of that. I would be in the gym training, learning, watching film after film after film after film. I don't know how much film study he does, but he needs to do it to find the flaws in Fury's offense/defense. And that's what he should have been doing this whole time. So the third fight, being that it's been delayed so long, is the best case scenario for Deontay Wilder, because we know Wilder likes to stay in shape all the time. JD's has talked about it several times that when he gets to training camp, he's already in shape. They don't have to spend any time getting him in shape. He walks in, he's ready to go. So as long as Wilder stays like that, he might actually have an advantage over Fury, who we know when he has time to himself likes to do powder and he likes to eat because he blew up to like 400 some odd pounds. So the time away may actually be more beneficial for for Wilder than it is Fury. We don't know. Again, the third fight will tell a lot, but even if Wilder gets beat up just as bad or worse, I don't think that means he's trash. I don't think that's the end of his career if he doesn't want it to be the end. I just think that means Tyson Fury has his number. Again, I will restate, he has a lot to work on, but I don't know if his a lot to work on will affect him negatively against other people in the division. I don't know if other people in the division can do what Tyson Fury did to him. I don't know. With my boy Dillian White, I believe Dillian White will beat Wilder, knock him out even faster. However, he's shorter. He's got to come to him. That means he's got to walk into that right hand. He might get caught like Brazil coming in. It's a possibility. We know White's been down too. So if Oscar Rivas can knock White down, if Joseph Parker, although I think it was from exhaustion, could knock him down in the 12th round, and if AJ can knock him down, I guarantee you he can be knocked down by Deontay Wilder. And coming in is the $1 million question. Can he get inside without getting caught, being that he's shorter? I don't know. We'll have to see. So again, I don't think Wilder is trash at the moment. I think we need to see him in there with a lot more top tier opponents to really assess him on how good or how bad he really is. I never thought technically he was anything special. I'm surprised that Senior's just now waking up to his lack of technical skill. I think the entire YouTube boxing community has been saying this for the whole time. The only people that I think have been saying that he was some amazing technical boxer is the LDBC. That's it. Outside of them, I can't think of one person I've ever listened to, watched, talked to in real life, or been on panels on YouTube that have ever said that he's technically good. So, I don't know why Senior's just waking up to this. But again, strength, or in Wilder's case, since this is boxing, power can beat technique if your power is greater than that technique. Just like technique can beat power if the technique is greater than the power. That's the thing. How great is Wilder's power if he never gets technically better? We do not know because we have not seen him in there with enough people. And to finally stop being repetitive and end this, because I keep saying the same thing over, I don't know how else to say this. If Wilder loses to Fury again, that does not mean he is trash. I will never go that far to say he is trash off of Fury alone, because Fury arguably is the best heavyweight in the division. Has he had a lot of passes? Yes. Do people let Fury get away with saying certain things, doing certain things, moving certain ways more than other fighters? Yes. But the fact remains, Fury is the one that ended Klitschko's reign, not AJ. The 3 belts that are around AJ's waist all belong to Fury first. He never lost those belts. He's the Ring Magazine champion. He's the lineal champion by beating Klitschko. He also now holds the WBC belt. So even though he's not undisputed because he never defended his belts, he never gave Klitschko his rematch, he is, underground-wise, the undisputed king at the moment until beaten. So there's that aspect to look at too. He went out there, he lost to him. Can he beat AJ? I don't know. Can he beat Dillian White? I don't know. But Fury does not dictate that answer. That's all I really wanted to say. I think Senior's off base on this one because I don't think one guy beating you means that you're trash. Regardless of how technically good or technically bad you are, one person beating you, especially if that person is the best. Everybody talks about they want the best fighting the best, but when the best beats another best, now that person's all of a sudden trash. That's what I've always hated about the boxing mentality of fans, journalists, analysts, trainers, coaches, judges, etc. Everybody wants the best fighting the best, but the best never fight the best because they know if they take one loss, then all of a sudden, like Senior saying, they're trash. I don't like that. There is no shame in going out there and getting beat by the better man. There are boxers from the past who are considered all-time greats that have several losses. It wasn't really until the Floyd Mayweather era that one loss meant your career was over, meant that you're not that good. Well, I'm sorry. Not everybody can have a Floyd Mayweather career. Not everybody can do that. When it comes to the heavyweight division, there's only been one champion ever to have the belt and go undefeated. And that's Rocky Marciano. That's it. One. Out of all of them, one. 49-0. That's the record to beat. Tyson Fury really can't do it because he has a draw now. AJ can't do it because he has a loss now. Dillian White can't do it because he got a loss. Deontay Wilder was very close, but now he's got a draw and a loss. So there is no shame in taking a loss. Too many people have taken losses in boxing in the past. It does not make you trash because you lose to the best out there. If y'all want to see best fight the best, if that is the goal, to see the best fighters fight the best fighters, then don't fucking trash these guys when they get a loss. Applaud them for getting in there and losing. This is why UFC has such a better model when it comes to fights. They're fucking, I think Randy Couture is considered one of their all-time greatest, and them motherfuckers got like 20 losses. In fact, he might have more losses than he has wins, but he's considered an all-time great. Why? Because he beat a lot of the best when they were the best. Even though he took some losses, he still beat a lot of champions, held the belt multiple times, etc. So think about it from that aspect. We as fans of the sport have got to be or have to stop being so critical when these guys lose. We have got to stop saying that they're bums just because they lose one time. Because if that is the way that we're going to treat these fighters, then we're never going to see these fighters fight the other champions. There's always going to be multiple champions because nobody wants to lose that O, because once they lose that O, they're a bum. Nobody goes to see them. They lose all their money. It's stupid. No. I'm in it here. Deontay Wilder at the moment is not trash. Now, if Deontay Wilder loses to Fury again, loses to Dillian White, loses to Anthony Joshua, loses to Andy Ruiz, etc., 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 if he takes a whole bunch of losses from here against top 10 fighters, then yes, you could make the claim that he is trash, but not off of losing to one person. Thank y'all again for watching. Don't forget, I will be live on Sunday at 2 p.m.